just be able to have good conversations with people. We got to see some really good videos, which was a lot of fun. I mean, it's nice being able to see the progression I've made during the time that I've been in that class. It was a good investment of time. It was a good investment of money. Headed out west, Jackson Hole had some really good snow today, and I'm sure the conditions were great, but I didn't get up till pretty late. And there's a couple areas out west that I want to go check out and get a chance to be at for a couple days. The conditions aren't going to be amazing there, but it is going to be fun just to be able to be someplace that's really nice, has some good food, has some good hot springs and stuff like that around there. I was thinking a lot about changes in life recently. I feel like this trip has been an important change in my life. It's sort of part of the progression of being able to achieve who I really want to be. One of the things that I think about a lot, and I know I keep mentioning it, was being homeless. I also think about, like, in the past, I had a problem with alcohol, and depression. I was raised by people that were really troubled people. And it's something that when I look at life, I think a lot about what my path is. I don't take a path that people understand. I don't really care at all. People understand it, don't understand it, if you like it, dislike it, whatever. I frankly just view it as if this is my path, and people like it great, and people don't like it great. It's not my problem. It's somebody else thinks. But at the end of the day, I have to live a life that's true to me, to who I am. And it's interesting because, I had really bad depression as a kid. I was raised by people that were really chaotic and that had a lot of problems. And they had families that were chaotic and had a lot of problems. And it's interesting to me, as I get older, to sit there and to look at stuff that really resonated with me as a kid. Think about what that means. One of the things I remember as a kid was seeing Charlie Brown and watching that Charlie Brown show, Snoopy, whatever it was. And there's this constant theme in that thing of Charlie Brown, playing football with Lucy and her pulling the ball back. And I remember as a kid watching that and getting this really strong resonance of man, that's what I get that. I understand that. I don't understand why Charles Schultz, way back then, when he was making that thing, why he would do that, why we wouldn't have a society where it would be a common theme of, somebody malignantly, malevolently pulling the goal that somebody's going for. And in my life, that's something I've dealt with a lot. I've dealt with people that sabotage me. I've dealt with people that cause problems in my life, and I don't have that anymore. And a lot of the way that I don't have that anymore is that I have this saying to myself where it's you will accept what you tolerate. Meaning that if you live a life and you have people around you that are chaotic, right now in the present, in the future they're going to be worse. Okay, it's a simple mathematical formula. And it's logic. It's not actual math. I guess it's math argument. But if there's chaos now, so if you're out there in the casual dating world and you got a guy or a girl that's in your life that's chaotic right now in this moment, the chaos is going to be worse in the future. It's not. If there's members of your family that were chaotic in the past, it's not going to get better in the future. If there's members of your family that were gaslighting you and lying to you in the past, it's not going to get better in the future. If your employer that you worked for last fall was chaotic and unpleasant to work with, it's not going to get better this time. So when we go through life, I always look at it as just this simple word. It's my present moment is what matters. My present life is what matters. And I really like many of the things in my life. There's things I don't like. There's things in this world I really can't stand. I don't think are good or wise or any of those things. But it's what it is. I really don't. I don't have the influence to be able to change that immediately. I hope that by doing this podcast that over time, there might be changes that come over time. But when I live my life, man, I just think about that Lucy and Charlie Brown thing. You can see this on here. Y'all probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Lucy and Charlie Brown. She tells them, it's Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a really important holiday, and you got to kick the football because it's Thanksgiving. And Charlie goes and he kicks the football, and he falls on his ass, and he accept what somebody else says about you. There's people sometimes where they say things to me and I just don't respect them and don't care. And so it doesn't matter. It just kind of rolls off my back. But when we sit there and look at life, I want you to think about Charlie Brown and Lucy today and exactly what that means. Like, why is it that there's, like, if I looked it up on YouTube, there was 15 minutes of Charlie Brown and Lucy interaction in football. Why chase after the football if you know that it's going to be a bad time? If you have interactions with people that you know are a bad time, who cares? I sit here, and today's my birthday, 46 years old. And it's nice in a lot of ways to think about what I've accomplished in those years, and where I've come from to where I am now. But I don't sit there and I don't go back to the Lucy's in my life and go, oh, this time's going to be different. You know, I'm 46, they're really going to be different this time. There's been enough instances of that football getting taken away, of me getting just completely screwed over, to know full well that there's no purpose for interaction. And when we go through our lives, if we look at it through that cold, calculating, not what we hope people, not what we idealize reality, but what the cold hard facts are. When we think about what, A plus B equals C, 1 plus 1 equals 2, what that actually means, there's nothing to discuss, there's no question. It's one of the things that I really love about living righteously, is that I'm able to sit here, I was at a party last night where a lot of people were drinking. And you know what? There was even a little bit of peer pressure to drink last night. And I said, I would go to war over this, but I'm not drinking any alcohol. I don't give a shit. Okay? I don't care what you do. I don't care. You like me, great. If you don't like me, that's great too. But the thing is that I know what my boundary is. I know that I don't want to wake up today and have a hangover. I know that I don't want my body to have gastrointestinal issues that come with it. I don't want to have addiction issues in my life. It's really simple math. When I think about people in my life, people who get to be in my life, there's people that they go and they love to make fun of me and they love to do this and they love to do that and they love to have weird, bizarre attitudes. And guess what? They aren't in my life anymore. And yeah, there's part of that that really sucks. There's times where I sit there and I look at it and I'm like, man, it would be really nice to have like a functional reality, a family, whatever it is. But it's not in the cards, man. There's a historical pattern of behavior. And I'm sure that they're finding ways to screw me over with what's going on right now. And it's chilling to think about that. And I know that I'm not the only person that has these dynamics in their life. And that's why I talk about it. Because if there's other people that can be able to hear my voice and understand what I'm saying and really resonate with that Lucy taking the ball from Charlie Brown, if we all really stop accepting this, it's kind of like being in the union. In the union, if we stop accepting bad wages, bad treatment, it stops. I promise you. These multi-billion-dollar contractors that don't pay per diem, or don't do this, or don't do that, if we all stop going, it's going to stop real quick. That not getting per diem, especially with inflation and where it's at right now, it's a big amount of money. It's significant. And it's something, it's kind of like a fat man at a meal who's having everybody else pay for the meal because he doesn't feel like paying. And it doesn't make sense. But I've ranted a little bit today. I hope that you're able to give me some grace with that. It's a good day, man. I'm headed out to a place I really love. I love Sun Valley. I think that is just a beautiful resort. I know the conditions aren't great. I know there's better conditions in Jacksonville. I could be up there tearing that up. I also know that there's enough time that I could probably head back to Jacksonville on my way back. Be able to get after it in a couple days there too. And I'll be a little more rested. I'll feel a little bit better. So I'm hoping to be able to solidify a lot of stuff that I've learned on this. Hoping to be able to celebrate a good day. Probably going to go have some really nice turns. I'll probably get a baked potato up at that restaurant up top for $50 salmon salad. Which is ridiculous. But it is good. And I'm just going to have a nice Saturday. So with that, I hope you live with legendary excellence. God bless you. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care.